Yes. Okay, thank you, Ifeanyi, for sharing. Yeah, I'm an Igbo person, so I know Ifeanyi. Thank you for sharing. Nothing is too hard for God, indeed. All right.
Hello, Miracle. If you are speaking, we can't hear you. All right, so while we wait for Miracle, so we have our host in the room. Our host is Pastor Alo Ola Ukumbo, and he is going to take us for today's session. So before we go into the session, I would like to just give a brief introduction about our host. So Pastor Alo, from the file we shared, is a pastor, is a content creator, is an author, is a personal development expert, and also he's also working in the ministry. So he also anchors the Transformation Hour Network International, which is an online platform for Christians, and he's a graduate of computer science for over 15 years. So we have somebody who has, experience in diverse fields, and, I hope that we get a lot from today's session, even as we pay attention, and then we will be handing over to him now. So you can share more about yourself so that we know you better. And then, yeah, thank you very much, Pastor Alo.
All right, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Good morning. Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel, and I hope Miracle will join us as soon as possible. I want to appreciate the leadership of WAVE for this privilege and this opportunity to speak to us, the alumni, and I sincerely hope that this session will be to an improvement and to development for each and every one of us. Emmanuel has told us about me. As we go on in the session, we get to know more about me. Though I'm not here because of myself, I'm here because of you. So you, the alumni, you are my focus in this session. I want to shed the spotlight on you and not on myself. Though in addition to being a personal development expert and being a pastor, I'm also a public speaker and a trainer. I train people in public speaking. So that's just an addition to who I am. And let's go right into the session. Let's go right into the session as I'll be sharing my screen with us. Please, I'd like to have the screen sharing post. Can you grant me privilege to share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen now.
All right, thanks. All right, we can all see what's on my screen. Let me go to the first slide. Yeah, our topic for this session is aimless or ambitious. If you are aimless, then you'll be building a life without purpose. But if you are ambitious, that is when you can build a life with purpose. So the session is organized by West African Vocational Education, as we all know, while I'm the facilitator, and today is the date. Now, before I go into the main part of this content, I would like to ask you a question. So you have to use your chat room to answer this question. And the question is, if at any time you are to be invited for a program or for a training session, like I got this invitation because the organization went through my profile. There are certain things they saw in my profile that made me qualify for this training that we are having. Now, if someone were to go through your profile and you are to be invited for a training or a workshop or a session, what is it likely going to be? I would like to have your answers in the chat room. Kindly go to the chat room and share with me what is likely going to be. Okay, a business meeting. And in addition to that, why? Why will it be a business meeting? A music event? Why will it be a music event? What is it that you have that will qualify you to be invited for a music event or for a business meeting? I'm waiting for that. Emmanuel said business meeting. OJ said music event. Who else is there that is sharing with us? This is an interactive session. Please, you need to interact with me. Cooking competition, miracle. So as you are writing, as you are typing an event you can be invited for, let me also know why such events. Let me know why. Okay, while you are doing that, let's see. That's a question that I have in the introduction. If you are to be invited for something, what would it be and why? And I can see some of our responses, which are quite intentional. A business means because I only do business, no fun. Wow. OJ said because I have a major strength in music. All right. The reason for this question is because of what we are here for. For you to know what is happening, then you must know that there is something, a cooking event, I'll be able to showcase my skills and talent for everyone to see. All right. We all have good. Hold on, please. All right. So we all have very wonderful reasons for what we have written. So this session is expected to inspire you individually to live intentionally by showing the benefits of purposeful living and equipping you with the mindset and tools needed to live with clarity and vision. So at the end of this meeting, there are certain things that we should have gotten. Number one, you should be inspired. Something will spark inspiration in you as we go through this session. Then you should be able to see something. So, because if I'm showing you something, then you should be able to see what I'm showing you. All right. So, and after you have seen what I am showing you, you will be equipped, you will be empowered in order for you to be able to live your life with clarity and direction. Why do I need clarity and direction? You will get to know in the course of this session. What's our expected outcome? At the end of this session, you will gain a deeper understanding of how goal-oriented living can positively transform your life. You will also have actionable strategies to define your aspirations, create effective plans, and stay focused, enabling you to make intentional choices that align with your vision of success. Because, like I said, if someone is aimless in life, that person cannot live a life with or of purpose. For anyone to fulfill purpose, you must have discovered your purpose. You must have discovered your purpose. That is when you can now be ambitious. Being ambitious is a part of our journey in life. So you must have discovered your purpose, because that purpose will lead to what you are ambitious about. In this session, I'll be looking at the following. You will understand the importance of purpose. We'll be able to identify values and passions as individuals. If you are valueless, if you don't have your own value as an individual, then you will not be able to bring value to any organization. You will not even be able to bring value to yourself. There are two values that I've mentioned now. Value as what you have and value as what you can give to people. Then we will also be able to see how can I set smart goals. Then we'll be able to create action plans, overcome obstacles, because the fact that you are ambitious does not automatically mean that you can fulfill that ambition. And even if you are going to fulfill ambition, it is not something that comes cheaply or easily. There are obstacles, there will be difficulties, but in all of these, you must know, how can I overcome obstacles? How can I conquer my fears? How can I conquer these difficulties that are coming my way? And then we look at the benefits of purposeful living. Let's start by looking at purpose. What is purpose? Apart from my own definition here that is very short, if you have any other definition of purpose, you can kindly type it in the chat room and let me see your own definition of purpose. But from this, my presentation, you'll see that purpose is an anticipated outcome that is intended So purpose is so important to any individual, to any society, to any organization, to any nation. Purpose. If purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So purpose must precede whatever action you want to take. When you came into Wave, for whatever cause you came in for, did you think about it? Did you plan it? What was your intention for coming to Wave? And now that you have gone through a particular course or going through another course, what is your purpose? Now, looking at purpose, it's a how can I identify my purpose? What are the things that I need to do in order for me to discover my purpose? These are major things that we take a different session for us to be able to do them, because it takes a whole course to know how to discover your purpose, discover the potentials that are inside of you, and all sorts of things. But purpose primarily is what are you anticipating to get when you take this step. So it is seeing the end before making the move. Purpose is seeing the end before making the move. For instance, when an organization wants to manufacture a product, they don't start manufacturing the product before deciding what to use it for. So the purpose is, what problem do you want to solve? Then you now go into what process will you now take to solve the problem. That's why I wrote here that purpose precedes action. Purpose precedes action. If you are taking any action without purpose, you are aimless. It is going to be aimless. Imagine holding a dart, but there's no dart board. You are holding a dart, a small short arrow, but there's no board to which you want to shoot the dart. Then it's going to be purposeless. So purpose is what you must have in your mind about where am I going to, what do I want to achieve before you take your step, before you move. So it guides your planned actions. Well, let's look at the importance of purpose. Number one, it increases motivation and drive. If anybody tells you that he or she is tired of life, that person lacks purpose. That person has not identified his or her purpose. Because when you know your purpose, when you know why you are living, that's another way we call it. What is your why? When you know your why, then whatever comes your way, you'll be motivated to continue. So it brings motivation and drive. You continue to be driven by that purpose, that vision, that focus that you have will continue to drive you and motivate you. Enhanced well-being. When you know your purpose, whatever stress you go through, that sense of purpose will make you to feel happy, will make you to feel satisfied, because you know that at the end of the stress you are going through, at the end of the stress you are giving to yourself, you know that there is something you want to achieve. So if you are aiming at achieving something, which is your purpose, then whatever you go through, you will receive inner strength. You will receive inner peace, no matter what may come your way. It improves your decision making. When you know your purpose, when you discover your purpose, it will help you to improve your decision making. Because when you align decisions with your purpose, it makes it easier for you to choose the path that brings fulfillment. So when you want to make a decision, is this thing in alignment with my purpose? That is what we'll be looking at. Like I posted on my LinkedIn page this morning, that part of the questions I asked when Adiza gave me that call for this workshop, one of the questions I asked was, what will the topic be? And when she told me the topic, I knew that, oh, it's part of my purpose. If it were to be something that I'm not in line with, if, for instance, if they say how engineering can help us to improve our daily living, I may not easily accept that kind of topic, because I don't know about engineering. It's not that I can't do my research on it, but it will be difficult for me to accept such a topic, because it does not align with my purpose. So when you know your purpose, it helps you in making the right decision and at the right time. It increases your resilience. Now, in personal development, one of the major things that we always explain to people ahead of going on a personal development journey is the ability to build resilience. Because challenges will come. I've mentioned it earlier, and we're still going to see it. Challenges will come, difficult times will come. But when you know your purpose, you'll be able to bounce back. You'll be able to face the challenge, and you'll be able to go through it, and you will remain rooted in a meaningful purpose. So your purpose is so important that it will also help you to bring greater contributions. When you are living with purpose, it will allow you to make positive impact in the world. I am where I am today, though I still have a long way ahead of me, but I am where I am today because I was able to discover purpose. Living a life of purpose will give you the privilege to also have positive impact locally, nationally, and globally. Now, let's look at values clarification exercise. How do I discover my values? How do I discover what I am supposed to bring to the table? Now, let's look at a list of values. For example, freedom, creativity. These are values that people give to the world. Freedom, we can think of Martin Luther King, we can think of Nelson Mandela. The value they brought to their people was freedom. You can think of creativity. Elon Musk is one of the major drivers of creativity in this dispensation, in this age and time. Security, helping others, learning, growth. What is your value? Or what do you think can be your value? So you can look at the things that you know how to do, and in a particular order, you rank the values, those things that are most important to you. You can go to the chat room and do that. Type the values that you think you are. Values are positive. Don't tell me, sleeping is my value. Sleeping is not a value. So you look at what are the positive things that I can do. And for me, I value helping people develop to become who they are meant to be. That is my own value. I so much value helping people. By speaking to people, by counseling people, not just because I'm a pastor, but it's part of my being. It's part of who I am to help people, especially when I know that this person, this individual can become someone. You are not created in vain. You are not created as a waste. There is something you are created for. So, but a lot of people do not know. For instance, when I'm teaching about potential under purpose discovery, under purpose discovery, one of the things I teach is potential discovery. Now, potential is your greatness, but it is hidden. It is inside of you. Until you are able to uncover that potential inside of you, you will not be able to identify your purpose. So when I see people and I notice and I see in them that this person has potential, then what I do is I help such a person to develop. So first of all, it's in 3 levels. First and foremost, you discover. Please mute your mic, please. First and foremost, you must discover that potential. And the next thing is you now develop the potential. And after it has been developed to a level through training, through other means, then you can now deploy. So it's 3 Ds. You discover, you develop, and you deploy. So deploy, what I'm doing now is I am deploying my skills. What I have is what I am giving to you. So you too, as you have something in you. If you have been able to discover it, what you have done through your training at Wave is to develop it. Now, after developing it through training, through research, you now move to the next stage, which is deployment. You now begin to deploy. You do it. You practicalize. You exercise what you have learned. How do I identify my passion? 2 questions quickly. What activities do you find yourself naturally drawn to? Naturally. Though initially, maybe you need to know this about me. Initially, speaking was not natural to me. Yes, talking was natural, but speaking, there's a difference between talking. Virtually everybody in this world can talk, but not everybody can speak, because speaking requires thinking. You can just talk anything. You can talk anyhow. You can talk anywhere. But if you want to speak, you must have thought about what you want to say before speaking. But what activities do you find yourself naturally drawn to? Some people are drawn to just ensuring that children are well catered for. Children are pampered. Some people just love to take care of. If someone gets wounded, some people, they don't know about nursing, they don't know any drug, but they just feel moved that we need to do something about this wound on the leg of this person and things like that. So there are people that naturally, they get drawn to certain things. Then what do you enjoy doing in your free time? If we are able to know what you enjoy doing in your free time, then we'll be able to tell you what your passion is. And in addition, what are you curious about? What do you want to know more about? Do you want to, like some children, when you give them a toy, expect that in the next 2-3 days, that toy will become a trash. They will turn the toy to trash in the process of trying to look at what is actually powering this toy for this tiny car to be moving. What is powering this teddy for this teddy to be winking at me? What is powering this particular toy to be able to do this thing and do that? So you would just realize that they want to break it down. They are curious. But don't be like the curious cat. But what are you curious about? What topics do you find yourself constantly reading or learning about? These are questions you need to ask yourself in order for you to identify your passion. Passion, so important, because if you don't have passion for something, when you journey in that path, when you journey in the route of something that you don't have passion for, then it's most likely you are not going to get anywhere on that journey. So you need to identify what your passion is by asking yourself those questions. All right, having identified your passion and your value, one thing that we also need to know about living a life of purpose is about setting smart goals. A goal simply is what you are aiming at achieving. What you are aiming at achieving. What do you want to achieve? Remember, purpose precedes action. So your purpose is your goal. Your purpose is your vision. Your purpose is, where am I going to? And if you don't have a goal, there's this saying that sounds funny and sounds insultive sometimes, that a person that does not have a goal is a goat. In other words, that person is aimless. You don't have a specific vision. You don't have a specific place you are going to. So a goal is what you are aiming at achieving. Now, how then do I set my goals? We have the acronym SMART for goal setting. SMART, S-M-A-R-T. I believe many of us have heard about it. And S stands for specific. Your goal, whatever goal you are setting, must be defined and detailed. You must know what is the specific goal that I have. For this year, what is my goal? For the first quarter of the year, what is my goal? What do I want to achieve? So yeah, that goal must be specific. It must be measurable. Within the next 3 months, I want to complete reading these 3 books on personal development. I want to complete reading these 3 books on creativity. I want to complete reading 3 books on this particular field. So you must be able to track the record, the progress of your goal. You can say this is the period. You must be able to measure it. I didn't know this, and this, but in the next 3 months, after the 3 months, and you have gone through the process of what you have set as your goal, you must be able to say, I have now known this, and this. Then, the fact that you want to set goals does not mean it should be something that is unattainable, something that is unrealistic. It must be a realistic and attainable goal within the time frame. If you are setting 3 months, then you should be able to, you should know that, oh, in 3 months, can I finish a 1,000-page book? In 3 months, can I do that? When I have other things to do, I'll go to church, I'll go to mosque, I'll go to the office, I will do this, I will do other things. For some of you, you want to go to Paris on weekends. Will I be able to achieve this goal within this time frame? That is what it means to set an achievable goal. Now, sometimes in setting an achievable goal, some people reduce the intensity of their action in the goal. What I mean by that is this. You know that in 3 months, you should be able to complete a particular task, but you are saying, I want it to be achievable. Let me just put in 6 months or in 4 months. Meanwhile, you know that it can be done in 3. So don't reduce the stress level that you are supposed to put into it, because goals are also meant to stretch us. Stretch. So you need to also stretch yourself. If something is achievable within 3 months, don't extend it to 5. Make it 3 and stretch yourself. If it's going to be on the last day of the 3rd month that you'll be able to achieve it, then stretch yourself to do that. Then that goal must be relevant. If you have discovered your purpose, if you have discovered your values, your goal must be relevant to your purpose. Your goal must be relevant to your values. It is something that will develop you. It is something that will increase you. It is something that will expand you, that you set as your goal. And then it must be time-bound. Set specific deadlines for achieving your goals. Let's look at action plans. Now, after you have set your goals can be large and it can be long, but you now need to break down the goals. You divide the large goals into smaller, more manageable steps. If you want to read 3 books in 1 month, are you going to start with the smallest of the 3, or you're going to start with the largest of the 3? You break it down. Okay, I'm going to start with 7 attitudes of a leader. That is the smallest one. Then I will move to personal development framework. That is the larger one. Then I will now move to the largest one, whatever book you want to read. Then you identify the resources. You need to determine the resources you need to achieve your goals. There are resources that are available that you need to source and make use of for you to be able to achieve your goal. Your time, your money, the skills you need. If you don't have that particular book, if you don't have a particular thing that is meant to help you in achieving your goal, you seek the support of friends and others that can help you in achieving the goal. Then you create a timeline. Set that deadlines for each step in your action plans. Then you identify potential obstacles. What can stop me? Will going to Paris on every Saturdays within the time that I have allotted for my goal, will attending Paris affect this goal that I want to achieve, that I've set for myself? Then you identify how it can impinge on that goal. Now, I've told us earlier that there will be obstacles, there will be challenges. How then do I conquer? How do I overcome these obstacles, these challenges? Number one is you celebrate small wins. If you have set the goal of reading 3 books and you have been able to complete one, you don't need to tell everybody that it's the smallest of the 3 books that I want to complete in 3 months or in a month. Just let us know. I've been able to complete reading one of the books. I've been able to accomplish this particular project. If you're on LinkedIn, you will see that a lot. People celebrating small wins. So you acknowledge and reward your progress along the way. Then you seek support. Connect with people that can be of encouragement, people that can be of guidance to you in order for you to be able to achieve your goal. That's part of what I am meant to do as a volunteer. I'm not just here to speak to you at this workshop. I'm also here to be a guide and an encourager. I'm here to also encourage you to keep moving. You practice self-compassion. Don't beat yourself when you are not able to achieve your goals. Remember, obstacles may come. When obstacles come, one of the things that obstacles do is to stop or hinder someone from being able to achieve his or her goals. So if it happens that that obstacle conquered you and you're not able to fulfill a particular goal, then don't beat yourself. Try to hold back and re-strategize, re-evaluate and adjust. Be flexible and be willing to adjust your goals and plans as needed. Just know that I'm not doing this because I cannot. You must not allow that word, can't. You must not allow it to beat you. You must not allow the word can't to hinder you from being able to achieve what you can achieve. So you reevaluate, you adjust, you strategize in order for you to be able to overcome that obstacle. And lastly, you build resilience. I've told you earlier that in personal development, we don't just tell you sweet things. We don't tell you if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can you can achieve it. No. Personal development is not just about motivational talks. It is also letting you know that if you can think it, then act on it, but be ready to face challenges, then you can do it. If I just jump from you can think, if you can think it, you can achieve it, then there's something in between that is missing. And what is missing is if you are ready to face challenges. There's no organization that is standing today that has not gone through a trying time. So you must know that. So if you want to go beyond where you are, you must be ready to build resilience, be able to absorb and adapt to change and uncertainty. You know, there is a description for this generation. It is called VUCAD. This generation is volatile, and that VUCAD, that U is uncertain. It is also complex. This generation is complex. The complexity of the things that are happening around us cannot be estimated. The volatility of this generation cannot be estimated. So in order for you to be able to go through this complex generation, this uncertain generation, then you must build resilience. You must build resilience. What rewards do we have for living purposeful life? Why should I live a purposeful life? Why should I be ambitious? Why should I discover my purpose? Number one, when you live a purposeful life, it will increase your happiness and fulfillment. It will also enhance your self-confidence and self-esteem. If you are walking on a path, if you look at the first slide, there is a road, but there are two divergent roads. One lane, but two other divergent roads. If you are going in the wrong direction, no matter the confidence you have, a time will come you will lose that confidence. But if you are on the road of purpose, if you are traveling on the route of purpose, your self-confidence will be enhanced. Your self-esteem will be stable. You will not lose confidence in yourself because you know that you are walking on the right track. So you will be able to bring greater contribution to society. You may not know it, but every action that we take on a daily basis has an impact on our society, no matter how small it is. If, for instance, you do not pay your house rent to your landlord, there's an impact. It can be negative, it can be positive. There's an impact that action is having on someone. So if you are living a purposeful life, there is something you are contributing to the society. What I am doing this morning is contributing my own quota to the development of the society. I don't know where any one of you is. Some of you may not even be in Lagos. So what I am doing now, if someone here now is in Abuja, for instance, and you have learned this, and you practice what you are learning, you sit down to identify your passion, you sit down to identify your values, and you now begin to act out your passion, you begin to act out your value. That society where you find yourself will begin to experience something new about you. Then, if you are living a purposeful life, it will improve your relationships because you now see life from a different perspective. If a brighter light will shine to you and will also shine through you. And lastly, you will live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. In closing, having seen the danger of aimless living and the benefits of purposeful living, I believe you are convinced that you must give life another shot. The reason for writing this to you is that some of you may already be thinking, after 2 months of this training, after 3 months of this training, what have I even achieved? I don't think this training is having any impact on my life. I don't think this training is having any meaning to me. That is why I'm saying that you, after this session, you must have been convinced that you must give life another shot. You must try again. Maybe you applied for a job, you were not selected, you need to try again. And this time, it is with the aim of achieving your purpose. Go and rediscover your purpose if you have not. And if you have discovered it, go and emphasize on what your purpose is. No matter the obstacles on your way, I want you to know that you can achieve your purpose. Thank you for listening and thank you for following. You can reach out to me at any time after this session. Thank you so much and over to you. Miracle, I hope you are back.
Yes, I am here. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Pastor Alu. Thank you so much. So please, can we all give him a round of applause, emoji, reactions, just for us to know how many people are actually in. Yes, Tessie. Thank you, Tessie. Is it just Tessie? Yeah, so while we're waiting, thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. Yes, I learned a lot, and so I'll be sharing soon.
All right.
Thank you, Kristen. So we just have 2 persons. I hope we did not just leave our phone on the table to do something. Thank you, Bello. Thank you. Yes, please, let's encourage our facilitator. Thank you, John. Thank you, Annie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who stayed through until this time. Yes, so all right. So does anybody want to come off mute to like share what they learned, something that really stood out for them before I go?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, Miracle.
Yeah, good morning, John.
Okay, I actually I didn't have any idea where this was gonna lead us to, but I'm lucky I was part of this, and I am actually a kind of person. I have numerous talents. Meaning if I venture into something and I'm new in that thing, I tend to, if me, I'm an extremist. So once I put out myself, my mind, my heart into something, I come out to be good in it last. But most of all, I think music is my purpose, but I have not really. I'm a kind of guy that I want to once I see something is happening here, I want to know about it. I want to be part of that thing. And but this lesson, this section has actually given me another kind of perspective of going about choices. So I right now I'm seeing myself doing this music more because I've been doing this since I was a child, and I'm really good at it. I can really sing very, very well. So right now, I think I have a purpose right now, and I think there's no need looking for a way to go and do cyber security or looking for money to go and spend and do video editing. When I have something I can actually bring out to the world, and they can actually, and most of all, I actually want to do. I'm a Christian. I want to focus all of this music thing in sharing the gospel, in letting people know about. So I think I have a purpose now, and I strongly believe that this thing is gonna help me. This session is going to help me improve in this area of my life. Thank you, Pastor, for coming on board and helping me find my purpose.
All right. Thank you so
Glad
much,
you got
John,
value.
for sharing. Yes, thank you so much for sharing that, John. So we're going to be sending a thank you note. So I know a lot of people have a lot. Okay. So I know we have a lot of things to say. I know our heads are full, so we can't take all of that now, even though we have the time. So we're going to be sending the link. You get the link right now on the in-call message. You can just quickly say a thank you, all of the things you learned and things you want to say to our facilitator. You can just do that on the link. All right, so let me just do a brief run through for me, something that I know I learned, that I jotted down. So there's something that really stood out for me. That goals are meant to stretch us. So for I know that's a place where I know that this is when he said that I just know he's speaking to me. He's speaking to me. Yeah. So sometimes you're like, Sebi, we've all heard about smart goals. I don't think anything he said here is new to us, but the importance is it keeps coming back to us. You understand? Sometimes we are just swamped in every days in our daily life, work, worry. You understand? So you just need this reminder. You need you need sessions like this to just keep you reminded. Some people say, oh, I've learned this before. They've said this in numerous workshops. But coming here, you learn something. Oh, you're like, oh, there's this thing I said I was going to do. You're able to go back. You understand? So back to what I was going to say. So the part where you want to set a smart goal in quotes, and then you know that this activity will just take only 5 months. But then you want to be, no, let's just give you for, all the uncertainties, and then you do 8 months. You understand? It's something that I usually do. Maybe I want to read a book and I said I'm going to read this book in 2 weeks, but then I know I can finish it in 1 week, but I'll now say I want to read it in 1 month. So, we should make sure that when we're setting our goals and planning things that we want to do, our personal life, career, relationships, we should try to, as much as possible, to do things that are realistic. We should not just, how would I put it? We should not just do things that we know that would work, but then we now overextend it so that it now takes time, and then we are now clapping for ourselves that, oh wow, I did this in 7 months. When you know deep down, you can take just 2 months. Yes, thank you. So please, does anybody have any question? Pelumi, are you speaking? Yeah, so please, the links are in the in-call messages, please. Okay. All right. Abutu said, with this training, I believe in myself more, knowing that giving up is never an option, but my determination to achieve those goals. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hope that everyone took something out of the training, even though you're not sharing here, even though you're not coming off mute. Okay, Tessie, your hand is up. You can ask your question.
Oh, thank you so much, Miracle. Thank you so much, sir. I've really learned a lot. And then I already have a roadmap, and with this, I think I'm really moving towards the right direction. Thank you. But my question is this: is according to what you said, I think is there going to be a one-on-one session with you after this session? That's my question. I just want to know if there is a one-on-one session with him. That's why we get to meet him like one-on-one, like for mentorship.
All right.
Sorry. Thank you.
Mr. Alo, do you want to answer that? That's coming to your table, your desk.
All right. It depends on the organization. If there is a place for one-on-one, then I will be available. I have a link via which you can schedule a one-on-one session with me on Calendly. After this training, I will send that to Adiza and she'll forward it to the right quarters.
All right.
Thank
yes.
you.
So a one-on-one session is, thank you very much for sharing, sir. And thank you for your question, Tessie. Yes. So you can do a one-on-one session with him since he has agreed to it. So I'll reach out to you myself after this call, after this meeting, and then I'll send I'll send the link to you so you can.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Okay. Someone has a question. All right, so someone has a question. Someone is asking in my DM, I don't know why he doesn't want to come off mute, but my DM, he sent me a message. He said, what about, how do we deal with distractions? He said, he talked about having purpose, having the end goal in mind, having the end, seeing the end first. They talk about what of distractions, things that will just come up, life. How do you deal with distraction while you are trying to be ambitious?
Okay, yeah, that's part of the challenge that will come your way. Distraction is a challenge, and like I have given us the process of overcoming such, you must build a wall of resistance around you, such that when distraction is coming, you know that, no, I am too determined to be distracted. You must build your determination level that this is my vision, this is my purpose, this is my goal. So you must build your determination to the level that distraction will not be able to penetrate into it. Even if it comes to a level, you will know that I am too determined to be distracted. Now, there are three enemies when you want to build resilience, or when you want to build persistence. Persistence is another name for resilience. When you want to build it, fear will come, doubt will come, and distraction will come. But in order for you to conquer these three enemies, you must build your determination, you must build your faith, and then you must be fearless. If you are not fearless, you no matter how little the distraction is, it can take you off guard. But if you are fearless, if you are focused, and if you have faith that this thing that I want to achieve, I'm able to achieve it, then you'll be able to go through when distraction comes. And at the same time, have people around you. I mentioned having mentors and encouragers. When you have such people around you, when you notice that distraction is coming, the first point is notice it. If you know that this is a distraction, then attack it. Inform the people around you, inform your encouragers, inform your mentors, so that they will also be able to tell you that, no, don't allow it. Don't allow anything to distract you. I hope that helps.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for sharing. So yes, he's on the call, so I hope he took that down, and I also learned something from what he said. Yes. Okay, so I have another question. Okay, so someone is asking how do you so he's saying sometimes you set goals as a man or as an individual generally, And then sometimes people just look at it when you tell people and they just look at it and they just say, oh, this is a lot. How are you going to achieve this? Let's say you are a startup singer in Nigeria, and then you're like, you're just setting, so that's the example he used. And then you're setting high targets. I don't know, maybe you want to get 400 million followers. And then people around you that have started for like 2 years are saying that they haven't even gotten up to 1K followers. How do you want to do it? So say, how do you block this? How do you handle it when sometimes you set goals and then people around you are just saying no, it can't work? How do you handle the emotions? How are you able to handle this external discouragement? And sometimes you're trying to be ambitious, you're trying to hustle like everybody, and your own idea of hustle is so high. People just tend to just laugh at you. Yeah, how do you handle it? Especially if you're trying something new and for the first time.
All right. There's a saying that aim for the moon. So if you miss the moon, you will shoot for the sky or the stars. It's good to aim high. It's good to have big goals, but at the same time, we have taught you and you've learned about SMART goals. I also mentioned that we can stretch ourselves, but there is a limit to which you can stretch yourself. I'm not trying to discourage you, and I'm not trying to make you to reduce your faith level, but first and foremost, on your own side, you need to be sure that this thing, if I stretch myself, I can get to half of this. If it is half of that thing that you can get to, then don't take it to that full level, For instance, we are aiming at 400. When you know that if you stretch yourself maximally, you can reach 200, then it will be better that you aim at 250 to 300 instead of aiming at 400. All right. So that by the time you get to 200, 250, you will be able to tell people that, didn't I tell you that I am able to achieve it? But it will bounce back on you if you aim at 400 and you're only able to achieve 200. That is where being ready to stretch yourself and at the same time being ready to set a SMART goal, that is where you can conquer. So that when you set a goal, yes, it is smart, but you have also stretched yourself beyond the level that you think that you can reach naturally. By the time you get to where your strength can take you to, you will still be able to speak boldly before people. Because when people are saying, can't you see now? Didn't we tell you? You will now be feeling ashamed of yourself that, oh, if I had done, I wouldn't have set this kind of goal for myself. But so I'm in between. Be smart and also be ready to stretch. And when you stretch, you should know that your stretching cannot be too long to the level that you will not be able to achieve anything. Because to some people, if you achieve half of your goal, some people will rejoice with you, some people will celebrate with you, while some can heap a lot of blame on you. And if, unfortunately, those that are blaming you or those that are abusing you are more than those that are encouraging and celebrating with you, then it will look somehow to you. So in order to avoid that, then set the SMART goal and then stretch yourself a little ahead, beyond the level you think you can go to. Stretch yourself a little so you can stay within a boundary that will be beneficial to you and at the same time beneficial to others. Now, if in conclusion, if the goal you are setting is maybe for you to be proud or for you to boast. That goal may have some difficulties. So there's need for you to know what is the purpose behind this goal that I'm setting. Is it to help people, or is it for me to pride myself that there is nothing I cannot do, there's nothing I cannot achieve? So, and lastly, surround yourself with those that will encourage you. I've mentioned it. When you surround yourself with those that can encourage you, you can blot out, you can wipe to one side those that may want to discourage you when you are setting a goal. When people know that this little extension above your SMART goal is to stretch yourself, then they will encourage you that you can achieve it and you can do it. I hope that helps you, please.
All right, yes, thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful response. It's a lot. Thank you. All right, so does anybody have any other question? Adebayo, do you want to come off mute? Share something that really stood out for you, or ask a question. I know you have one. Adebayo, can you hear me? All right, so while we're waiting for Adebayo to come off mute, please let's go to the chat box. Please, we have a feedback form. The purpose of the feedback form is for us to know how we can do better, then also get to even know you better. Yes, and then the thank you note to appreciate our facilitator. Yeah, Adebayo, you can speak. Hi, good afternoon, Adebayo.
Yes, good afternoon. Actually, it's not like I have a question, but I've just been flowing because the only aspect I think I'm really encouraged about is the fact that when you start out, the fact that you started out does not mean that everything will be rosy. I mean, when you fall, you rise again and you keep on. Because if you continue to like compare yourself with people that have actually achieved, you leave too. I want to just make example. Maybe you start off with a business and maybe at first it wasn't working. You decide to leave it, you put it into another one. You look at it, say it's not working. You move again to another one. You eventually go on and on without doing anything. But then staying by it, being consistent and learning to be focused can help you, because those who you see that have achieved, it took time. It wasn't like they just entered and achieved. It's something that they build on, they focused on it, and they actually made progress eventually. I picked out from the teaching this particular concept, and it's a good one.
Yes, thank you. Never give up. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that you have something to say. There's no way you don't have anything to say. You're just keeping quiet. Thank you for coming off mute. I know I put you on the spot. Thank you. All right, so there is another question. If you have any other question, just hold on. So someone is asking, so what if, so you might, let me just do it. So you may have a particular passion, like me, I said I like cooking, I want to cook. But then what if this your passion or this your purpose is not giving you money? And in today's Nigeria, how do you survive? So do you want to answer that? When your purpose or your passion or your ambition is not giving you money, how do you do it?
Okay, passion without money. Wow, that is bad. Now, sometimes your passion may not automatically translate to money immediately. And so while doing that, while in that at that stage where your purpose or your passion is not bringing in money, find something doing. When you are doing something that can earn you money, you continue to build on your passion. Because there are other people that may be doing the same thing you're doing, and they have gotten to a level where they have expertise, they have built competence in that passion. And so people are ready to pay them for displaying or deploying their passion. But you are not yet at that level. So you need to do something to sustain yourself. And when you get to a level, you now say, okay, now I want to stay on my own and begin to use my passion on its own. For instance, there are people that, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. There are people that they would, at a level, when they get to a level in banking, in insurance, or in the corporate world generally, you will just see them after getting to the role of a manager, they will resign and say they want to go and start a fashion line. No, it's not just, you can't now compare that person that has risen to the level of a manager and is now starting a fashion line with someone that is just coming into fashion fresh. A manager in a corporate organization has a lot of connections. The client base is already established. What that person will now do is, will now be using the influence of the client base that he or she has built through that corporate platform for the fashion line. So you can't compare yourself to that kind of a person, but you can also grow like that. Find yourself in an established organization, then be using the resources you are getting from that place to build your expertise, to build your passion. So by the time you get to a level of standing on your own, you can now dump the organization and start your own. And you will know that it is only your passion that you are building on. Although at the same time, there are people that are able to hold on through the trying times. They are able to build the resilience to go through the storms. Yes, storms will come. Now, the fact that you even get an organization to work with to build your passion does not mean that there won't be storms. No, that's not how it runs. Don't just think that, oh, when I get a job in a bank, I'll be using my salary to sponsor my personal development goal. Who told you that you may not be sacked suddenly? Who told you that you'll be meeting targets all the time? And if you don't meet targets, something will be withdrawn, some amount will be withdrawn from your salary. So you need to look at, okay, let me try this. If it doesn't work, then you have to go through whatever strategy or whatever means you can to survive through the period where your passion will be large enough to now bring money to you. Some people didn't do it. Like, there's a community I belong to on WhatsApp, and yes, they were discussing having experience and not having experience in certain areas. And we are looking at it from different perspectives, but my own perspective is there are certain areas of life, there are certain fields where experience is important for you to be able to have impact, whilst there are some areas where you may not necessarily have experience, but you have the knowledge. So it's a case of knowledge versus experience. Which one should we go for? If you have the privilege of going for the two, yes. But in some cases, the experience of someone else can serve you for you to be able to achieve or do what you want to do. But if there is need for you to have an experience, then go for that experience, use it to build your passion, and then your passion will now grow to the level of bringing in income. So find your route among all the routes that I've explained. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that wonderful answer. Yes. Okay, does anyone have any question before I proceed? Any questions, comments, additions? You can come off mute, you can leave it in the message in the chat box. All right, so there is the thank you link that we've shared just to appreciate our facilitator, but there is no way we can appreciate him rather than this thank you note. So just type a few words to say thank you to Mr. Alo for coming and taking out time with in his from his busy schedule to have this session with us. I've sent the link. I can resend it again if you need it. All right, thank you. All right, so there is another question. I'm hoping this is the last. Does anyone have any question from the call? Okay. Yes. So someone is asking. Yeah, thank you, John. Just hold on, please. Okay. Yes. Okay, someone is asking, what advice would you give someone who feels stuck between wanting more in life and not exactly knowing what more is? So I think this person is coming from the point of where you just keep doing. So how do you understand what more is in life, or what is like, I guess what he's trying to say is what's the limit or what's the highest height, and how do you know that yes, this is it? So what advice would you give someone who feels stuck between wanting more in life but not knowing exactly what that more is?
All right. I hope the person is a Christian, because my response will not only be about the psychology or the management aspect. For you to identify or discover the more you are talking about, you need to go and meet your creator. Your creator may be asking you for more from you. So if your creator is asking you for more, then it means that it is in the place of prayers and meditation that you can discover or identify the more, because you cannot want to have more when you don't know what the more is. And the only person that I believe can let you know the more is God, the creator. So there's need for you to meet with God, set time aside, we call it a retreat, set time aside, have a retreat, dig into yourself, dig deep, because God is in you. God is not an abstract being. He is in you. So you need to dig into yourself and ask him, what is this more? What more do you want me to produce? What more do you want me to unleash? Now, when you are able to discover the more, then it will now tell you, be doing this on a regular basis, or be doing this, be studying this, it will give you the strategy for you to now journey towards the more that he has revealed to you. But first, go to God, ask him for what more he wants to reveal to you. When he tells you the more, when he shows you the more, is it more time in prayer? Is it more time in studying the word? Is it more time in discovering who you are? You may not even know who you are. You may think that you've known yourself. Because if you have discovered who you are, you will not be doing this, doing that, doing this. You will know what you are meant to do. You will know what exactly you are meant to do. And when you know what you are meant to do, you will not be able to progress. You will not be able to press in to discover the more, and then begin to do what will lead to the more that you have discovered that you want to do or you want to bring to the table. Either you are in the corporate world, it doesn't matter, or you are in the educational line, whatever sphere of influence you belong to, you can still get to know the more that you are supposed to be doing, that you are supposed to be giving by visiting and going to the creator who knows you more than you know yourself. Thank you. I hope that helps the person.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. That would help. Thank you. Okay, so we're still hammering on the thank you notes. Queen Maxwell, we know you have thank yous. You can go on the thank you link. Just a simple note. Just when you click the link, you just write thank you or whatever you have to say, and then you just save it. So it doesn't take you off the meeting. It doesn't stress you. So Tessie, Glory, Ezekiel, Adebayo, Mercy, Queen. I'm yet to see your thank you. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been clicking on that thank you note. It's not opening. Rather, it's showing me that I should create my own. I don't know if that's
Okay, can you just maybe copy it and paste it on the chat on WhatsApp and just click again?
copy and
Yes, just try that. And if it doesn't work, just let me know. You can leave a message. All right, thank you so much, sir. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick debrief of what we've learned so far. Okay, so purpose, yes. So you said something about purpose must precede whatever whatever plan you have. So before you lay out a plan or before you start the plan, you must have a purpose. You must identify a reason why. That's what purpose is all about. What reason? Why do you want to do this? Also, let's all have the end in mind before making the move. Find something you're really good at and let it be something you are curious about. You understand? Something that's good for me. Let it not be something, don't just join the bandwagon. Don't do because my friends are doing. My friends are learning tech, then me too, I want to learn tech. You find out that you will not really do well. Some people end up doing well, but then you have to find out who you are, understand your purpose, and what impact you would make that would give you fulfillment. Then you said something about if you are valueless, you won't be able to bring value to yourself and things that you involve yourself in. That's your relationship, your career, your workplace, and other aspects of your life. So importance of purpose, it increases motivation, helps us make better decisions, increase impact, gives us makes us feel happy, makes us have feel a sense of fulfillment, and then better relationships. Talk about setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We've all heard of SMART goals, but then he has talked about it extensively again to also re-emphasize the importance. So this is a new year. So instead of just doing new year, new me, new year me, this, new year, this baddie, I'm no grief for anybody. Try as much as possible while you are being, straight. I give you, give me back. Just take it easy. Go with the direction. Just know what you are doing. Don't be swayed. A lot of distractions. You see things on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp that will just shift you from your goal. It's not like when you set a goal, you cannot be flexible, but try as much as possible to not allow external distractions that will just lead you completely off to sway you from the things that you already planned out. I know it's not easy, but that's why we are here. That's why Pastor Alo is here. We can always reach out to Wave Career Support. You can always reach out to him to just seek for guidance, coaching, mentorship. Yes. All right. So goals are meant to stretch us. We've talked about that. I've said that one extensively. Something that I know personally, I'll take away from research. I know I like saying, I don't want to do this. Let me just give myself time. All right. So a life of purpose increases our happiness and fulfillment. You don't just want to be living your life every day, wake up, eat, rinse and repeat. Just flowing. Let me just flow with the trend. I don't want anything to stress me. Everything, waiting go be, go be. That's what we always say. You get waiting go be, go be. Yes. All right. So yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful session. So we're going to be saying a thank you the Wave way. John Maxwell, would you like to come off mute to appreciate
Okay.
voice once again?
Yeah, I really appreciate you, sir. You've actually impacted something inside of me. You will not know what you've actually done to me until I begin to manifest it. It's really a great session, and I hope to use this opportunity to create more of what I feel I have inside. And in fact, I've already started chatting a friend of mine who owns a studio that has been asking me to come around to come and see his studio. So I think from now on I'll be focused on this thing and I'll come out alive, all because of this session. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you and give you more of this inspiration and more of these ideas to impact more lives and bring for the best in people.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right, thank you so much.
Let
Thank you,
me
John.
just address John Maxwell because the name, immediately I came on and I saw the name, I just got connected to the name. No, your name is the name of my leadership coach, and it's a global name. And I know that you also, as you go on this route of developing your talent and your potential, you will rise and become a global person that will have positive impact on the world, and people will listen to you and they will be blessed. God bless you, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, so we have come to the end of this wonderful session. Thank you and have a nice day. So if you have any questions, suggestion, comments, you can fill the feedback form. You can also reach out to Wave Career Support on all our alumni platforms. Thank you.
Bye, Miracle.
Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you, Tessie. Thank you, Adebayo. Messi. HP. Thank you. You can all leave the session.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a lovely weekend. Messi, Adebayo, Tessie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.